What's going on, guys? Daily here, and today we're going to be taking a step back and talking about Squad. Squad is a game that I've been playing for years now. We in fact played it on the old Daily Gaming channel years ago, and more recently we've been playing some of the Squad Star Wars mod. Really fun stuff, highly recommended. But we're not going to be talking about that today. Today we're going to be talking about the developers of Squad, and basically how they're really in some hot water right now. They have royally pissed off their fan base and begun to sort of ruin their game a little bit. And we're going to be talking about sort of what started this and how they might be able to fix it and all that good stuff. So this is a different form of content than we usually do, but I am a major player of Military Simulator games, Arma 3, Squad, Hell Let Loose, Postscriptum, the list goes on. I've played them all, and Squad was a game that I was always very passionate about in the early days of it. Sort of fell off after a while, but you know, it's just an important thing for the overall milsim community, and I felt like it was relevant to the channel. So basically, all of this hot water started a few days ago with a community news release titled Squad 4.2. Emotes and future monetization in Squad. Now, right off the bat, you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, okay, future monetization in Squad, that is a fancy term for how do we charge customers who already bought the game even more? I mean, the base game costs $50, and I've heard this kind of terminology used in other games before, and it almost always results in something screwing over the consumers. And the consumer screwing is basically in the form of these emotes they also mention. They say that emotes are animations which you can use to express yourself, interact with each other, celebrate in-game situations, or brighten up downtime. They really are trying to sell these in-game emotes as if they are going to be these major game-changing atmospheric things that are just going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, there are some other games that have emotes in them for free, like Arma 3. You can do plenty of emotes, and in fact, most of the emotes that are showcased in the later article called Emote Squad Showcase are already in Arma 3, and I can tell you right now, they do not enhance the game that much. The only time I feel like my game has ever been enhanced by an Arma 3 emote is when we were in the 187th Legion in the Star Wars mod, and we started to Dougie on dead droids. And that was a free experience. Offworld says that for all of the years of support for Squad, all players will be receiving a free emote pack on initial release, and then there will be 2 packages of paid emotes that will be sold through an in-game connection to the Steam store. Now, they later elaborate in their future blog saying that the free emotes are going to be a wave hello emote, a point forward gesture, and a move out gesture. Ooh. And then there's another free pack that you have to claim, which I assume means that it's later going to be unavailable and you have to buy it. I don't know why else they would have the other ones be automatically in your inventory and these ones you have to claim, but these ones that are free also include a salute, a shrug, a come here, and a thumbs up. Woohoo! Really good stuff here. Now, it's very clear that the devs realized that this is probably going to piss off a lot of people even before they announced this. Now, typically, I would say that if you know that your announcement of free emotes and then purchasable emotes is likely going to piss off your fan base, maybe just don't do it and figure out a way to make actual content with your time that you can sell to your fans who will actually buy it and enjoy it. Actual content that isn't 2-second animations. That's the real problem here, is that this is such a blatant cash grab. It's basically, how can we spend an afternoon doing menial work and then go ahead and throw it onto the Steam store and hopefully make a few $1,000s? Instead of, how do we actually work hard, make some DLC or a new game or something along those lines, and make a lot of money and please our fans. It's a shortcut strategy instead of actually committing time and effort into making something useful for your game. Now, like I said, they tried to pad this because they knew what the reaction would be, and they said emotes are a totally optional feature in Squad. If you do not feel like buying additional emotes, you do not have to, and your playing experience will be no different from what it is without emotes. That's completely fair, and you know, if they were releasing new weapons that were extremely overpowered that you had to pay to play with, that's a whole other tier up. But that doesn't mean that selling these emotes isn't a bad thing. It's such a cash grab. It's kind of spitting in the face of your fans. And a lot of Squad fans have been kind of pissed off at the studio for a long time because of the countless bugs that are in the game, as well as the countless features that keep on not working or being promised and eventually just falling off. That's what most of the players are currently complaining about in the Twitter thread about this. They basically want Squad to actually be a working, fully fledged, good game before these cash grabs start flowing in. And Squad even said that, hey, we are doing this because it's going to help future updates. It's going to help fund future updates of Squad. Now, I am no financial expert, I'm no game dev, nothing along those lines, but Squad is a hugely popular game, and plenty other games that are less popular than Squad over the years have been able to continuously release good updates for their existing fan base and to try and win over new fans as well. Squad right now, sitting on the Steam page, is $50, and it has just under 100,000 reviews. Now, 50 times 100,000, that's right, it's about $5 million. And that is just people who have reviewed the game. That's just people who have reviewed the game. Probably 3 or 4 times more people have actually purchased the game than reviewed it. I just don't see Squad being in this horrible financial position where they desperately need money, so they throw out a desperation emote update that you can pay for. I just don't see it. Unless they are horrible with their money and their finances, I don't see how they could possibly be this incredibly desperate. And they have a little Q&A section where they say, does this mean we'll see more monetization in the future? What about gun skins or uniforms? And they say, the introduction of emotes and this new form of support for Squad is something we are excited to try. We will be closely monitoring the popularity of emotes and the interest of the community in them. As you well know, some initial backers of Kickstarter have currently access to a variation of weapon skins, and we are not excluding the possibility to broaden the selection we offer. However, we will continue to communicate more on the topic if and when the time comes. So basically they're saying, hey, if people aren't super pissed off about this, then maybe we're going to be doing some more of this stuff in the future. Now, a lot of people are very pissed off about this and they have not backed down in the slightest, so I think those future monetization implementations are going to be coming out. Now, the real reason I think that this is so annoying compared to like when you hear about this happening in Fortnite or Call of Duty and things like that is that this is a military simulator. It's supposed to be realistic, it's supposed to be a little bit more hardcore than your typical arcadey shooter, and the community reflects that. Whereas in Fortnite, you have a lot of very young people playing who are very hyped when you get a Spider-Man skin, when you get, you know, a Goofy banana skin, etc., etc. Over here on Squad, you have an older demographic who is a lot less interested in flash and things like that. People don't come to Squad to do goofy emotes or to have weapon skins. They come to Squad to have a realistic shooter experience. It's the exact same reason people go to Postscriptum or Hell Let Loose. It's of course to have fun and interact in the community, but also to have a little bit more realism than you typically would have in Fortnite or Call of Duty, places where these types of cash grabs are making tons and tons of money because the community supports them and in fact loves them. I still don't necessarily support microtransactions in those areas either, because honestly they're just really expensive, different colored pixels. And I think that if you buy the game straight up, you should just have access to everything. And that's another point in that Fortnite is free, and meanwhile, Squad costs $50. You're really telling me my $50 can't cover 10 emotes? And even beyond that, I don't really want that many emotes in Squad. I understand a thumbs up, I understand a move out, those could be cool in certain situations, but it always stays the same with these. Emotes start off regular, but then you run out of them that you can do. I mean, there's only so many military gestures and emotes before you do start having people Dougieing or doing the gritty or whatever, and Squad is a realistic shooter. It has no place having those types of emotes inside of it. Same goes with the weapon skins. In Call of Duty, it seems like the weapon skins and uniforms always start off at least somewhat realistic, and then as the game's lifespan goes on, you start seeing like Jason or Freddy Krueger or the Suicide Squad, and all of a sudden Call of Duty gets real weird real fast. It is something that builds momentum and gets weirder and weirder. And again, this is military simulators. This is not Fortnite. This is not Call of Duty. It just doesn't have a place. This feels like a blatant cash grab and not something that I want to support. Now, there was a lot of discussion about this on Twitter as well as their Steam community post, so I thought we could read some of the comments there. Danny Insomnia says, "I can't believe this, like this must be a joke. Game still runs like trash and has too many bugs, but you start implementing garbage emotes to make milk from your fan base. From this point, it can only go downhill." Operator Drewski, who's a famous YouTuber, says, "I'll pay you $100 for a separate keybind for coax MG fire for tanks / IFVS." So basically another feature that isn't in the game yet they're doing this. How about you introduce Squad to console? Says, oh, I can't say that. That's not a word that I can say. Then Oxide Does says, can you make the tanks not unload their cannons when you switch to the coax? Pure cancer. Again, there's plenty of bugs and features lacking from Squad that need to be implemented before you start doing crap like this. Maybe James Mattis says, "Yo, emotes, I'm finna be hitting the stanky leg after I blow up a T-72." So basically, all of these comments are pretty negative and pretty upset about this. And it's the exact same on the Steam community page. I think this is a huge mistake, and I hope that the community kind of has such a negative response to this that it doesn't support future monetization like this. And it also shows other game creators like, hey, if your game is in this genre, find another way to monetize your fan base. If you desperately need money to continue development, I think fans would be much more likely to support a Patreon or a Kickstarter rather than this. Just saying. But the problem is, those two things require that you actually release updates. They have money tied in to those updates at that point. But with this, there's no money tied into it. This is just, oh, hey, give me all of that money. Now I don't have to make any promises because I gave you emotes. So that's probably why they're not going with that monetization strategy. Either way, guys, that's going to be about it for me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that like button and comment down below. Also, if you'd like to see more content like this from me, I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.